Hey, Mr. Coach here. Thanks for joining us for our Tiger update. Before I get crazy into the update, let me just say the people in the orange shirts, you see them running around at the park, the volunteers that make everything go. Next time you see one of them, shake their hand, tell them thank you. They do what they do for you and for your kids. It's not a glamorous thing to do in any way, shape, or form. But ODC's changed a lot. I've been at ODC since 2004, and it's done nothing but improve. The families, new families that are moving into the neighborhood, and the youth that are coming in are the new blood of the club, and that's important to keep it going for another 50, 60 years. But you're going to notice a lot of improvements with the netting and so on, but this is all because of the volunteers and the people that make things happen there. You'll see those people and can recognize them. They're the people in the orange shirts. Give them a high five next time. I mentioned in the beginning of the season about one of my references I always use is the Matheny Manifesto. One of the areas that's addressed in there is umpires. The umpires do not control the game. The umpires are just calling what happens on the field. Now you're going to get bad umpires. Even at the major league level, you will have horrible umpires or in horrible calls. Something like this, and this is pretty horrible.
Here's Daniel McCutcheon, and he ground ball to third, breaking for the plate, the throw, and they got him. No! He called him safe! He called him safe!
And then you've got these bang-bang plays, a bang-bang play, something that happens so fast that you've got to make a choice in that, make a decision that quick, something like this.
Ground ball deep in the hole. Escobar with a long throw. Safe the call. Escobar was shaded in the hole, got over there, made the pickup, and the long throw.
So you see the umpires make mistakes, happens all the time. It's human nature. It's what happens after the mistake that has the most impact. If you go nuts screaming and yelling at the coach, and there are times it's worthwhile, I'm not saying that it's never like that play at home plate. Good gosh, I can only imagine how I would have been if I had been the manager of that team. Or that play at first base. You see how Escobar, the player who threw the play or who threw the ball, he just shook it off. It was a bang-bang play. It's part of the game. It's what happens with it. But as the coaches, the kids look at what we do and how we react. If we're making excuses for why they were out and blaming it on the umpire, it's only natural that they're going to do the same thing and blame it on the umpire. If they see us getting in the coach's or the umpire's face and screaming and yelling, they think that's the way to go. Now, if you watch in this clip here with Matheny, Mike Matheny, I mentioned the Matheny Manifesto, his third base coach was about to get popped, and he ran right out there and pulls his third base coach off and gets into the discussion with the umpire as well. And it was a horrible call too. Umpire missed the call. You can read Matheny's lips, and he says, you missed it, just own it, you missed it. There ain't going back. What I really find that's interesting if you watch is Mike Matheny. He's the Cardinals manager in this video clip. If you watch his body language and the way he is with the coach, he's got his hands in his pocket because we tend to be real emotional, and using our hands and our body language now turns the umpire into defense mechanism, and that doesn't lead for good things.
Kendall's been ejected
yet. I don't think so, not yet.
Or somebody in the dugout has been.
This would not be the worst thing for Mike Matheny to do, to get ejected. Maybe stir things up a little bit.
Well, at least they're starting to make it.
So there's a lot of noise. There's a lot going on. So, I mean, this will give you some ideas about the noise levels. Here on the field that we practice on, which is, right across the street from ODC. And I'll be the first one to admit that I'm probably the loudest coach in the world. But the only game going on tonight is on our field, on field 3. That's the only game that's in play right now. And from here, on the other side of TC Jester, not quite to the bayou, I can hear that game. Give it a listen. Now, keep that in mind as the playoffs go, and remember, the kids are having fun, and that's the #1 priority. Practice with this team is a fun thing because Vinny's got 4 sisters, I think. They all come. Dalton's got a sister. She's there. Next thing you know, our 10-kid team has got 16 or 17 players, and it's a blast. They really make practice fun. Here's a little bit of what we do at practice, and hope you enjoy.
Go, 1, Mississippi. What's the last step? Boom, nice job. No, Liam gets to go now. You ready, Liam? Go, 1, Mississippi. 2, Mississippi. Last step, good job. Go around the bucket, act like you get the ball. So, hey, you hear Adrian? You hear Adrian making excuses? We only lost because so-and-so tripped over Colin. Hey, so-and-so tripping over Colin had nothing to do with the other team, the way they ran. Is it their fault that you tripped over him?
No.
Whose fault is it?
Yours.
It's your own fault because we keep telling you. So, hey, Kylie says you kids got to learn to lose. But if you really want a rematch, I'll let you have it. And yell it out, Tigers, ready, go.
1, 2, 3.